Hey, Ginny.
Hi,
I'm
Robin. Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Good. I'm so glad that we arranged this time. I know that, electronics and sometimes technology don't work for us, and tonight was one of those nights. But I loved when you and I spoke. I think it was like a couple weeks ago now, and you were telling me a little bit about your business and what you got into it and how everything happened. And it's one of the reasons why I really wanted you to talk at the Summer Speaker Series. So because we sort of had those technical issues, would you mind sort of doing like a little bit, sharing just a little bit of what you're going to share? Because I really love your story. I love how you got into this industry, and I just love how genuine you are in regards to your intent and how you go about with this business. So I really want to share that. So can you share with everybody a little bit about your history and story and how you got into what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for doing this. And yes, technology and I are just not jiving today. So thank you for doing this for me. So being in the insurance industry, this is not something that somebody just, oh, as a child, I wish I could be in the insurance industry. It didn't happen like that for me at all. My background is in psychology. And so always having a drive to help people. And then life happened and I had kids, and I thought that when my kids went back to school, were in school full time, that I would finish my master's degree. But in kind of a surprising twist of fate, I was steered in this direction. It was actually because of an incident that happened with my husband. He's a carpenter, so he's in the trades, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And we had looked for insurance before, but it was really expensive, lots of exclusions and stuff like that that wouldn't cover us anyways for the stuff that we do. And so I hate to admit it, but we just didn't get insurance. And about 6 years ago, he and I were walking down the street of Banff. We just finished having dinner. It's, bright out Main Street, Banff, the streets are full of people. And he was attacked from behind by some random person, like straight up attack. So a 6'4" man just went crashing to the ground, head split open like a watermelon. The short story of it is that the doctors had said to him, this is a life-threatening brain injury. You can't work for at least 6 months to a year. He's self-employed. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So for all intents and purposes, our income just went kaput. Like it just ended right there. And so because of that, and of course I said, I'll go back to, my job, my old job that I had. I'll work at McDonald's, for heaven's sakes. Like you can't go to work. And so, he's a proud man, and the weight of the family's on his shoulders. So with much of a battle, he went back to work after 7 days with this life-threatening brain injury. So yeah, like it was just crazy. And I mean, we're on the other side of it and he's okay. But the horrifying nature of it was that every day he left, just to keep food on our table and the roof over our head, was kind of a situation of, will he even come home today? It was in that. So it kind of thrust me into this full-on pursuit to look for other coverage out there that is, reliable, relevant, affordable, pays from the very first day, for incidences like this. And it wasn't until about a year later that we found Combined Insurance, this company. So it was kind of, I mean, when we learned about it, we just got a policy for him and thinking, wow, this is just pretty incredible. And he had made a couple of claims actually, a few months into having it, just for broken bones and stitches. And it was after the third claim that I kind of said, like, okay, enough is enough. Like, what can I do to be a part of this company? People need to know that they've got options available to them. So that was kind of like a very odd way of getting into it, but I love it. I still feel like I'm helping people, just in a very different way than I ever thought that I would. But I don't see myself doing anything else.
Well, and it's one of those things, it's like really hit me hard in the last couple months because, I've been very blessed in 20 years of practice. I did martial arts, and I would have times where I could take like 3 or 4 weeks off because I'd injure myself. And luckily we didn't have kids at the time. But, for over 20 years, I really have very minimal time I had to take off of work.
Right.
And back in June, like just a couple months ago, my shoulder's been really kind of not even like crazy injured, but enough that I can't do massage. But, at least I can still do my other things because I've specialized. But
Right.
it really stops you and goes, oh my God, like if I can't work, how is this going to do, right? Like, again, like, general insurance doesn't cover that,
No,
right?
no, you're right. And yeah, and that's just it, you guys especially need your whole bodies to do your job. I mean, if you have a broken toe, I mean, you need to be standing all day and putting pressure on your body all day. And so for so many industries, like when people ask me, what's your, like, who can I refer you to? I basically say literally everybody, because if an injury happens on or off the job, or if you're sick, or if you've got what you're saying, like deterioration of the body, this could, I mean, fortunately, like you say, you've diversified, but if you hadn't, and you no longer, we have an RMT in our office now who's doing this because she did something so horrible to her thumb that she now can never massage again. And so, it's those kinds of things. So it's just, it's even the small things impact people's day-to-day ability to earn an income, or, for a longer period as well.
Yeah. Well, I was really looking forward to like your whole presentation, because again, I haven't even really been able to sit down and go through it all. And I actually know the therapist you're talking about, and we've spoken to in the past. And so it's one of those things that, we're never taught about this when we're in school. We're just told like, look, take really good care of yourself. And, I think some of us just go and keep your options open, because you can injure yourself. And generally, our lifespan as practitioners is not very long. So I'm really glad that we were able to record this little bit of a talk, because I really want to share this. And then I'll make sure that I have your number and your email address and everything, because it doesn't mean that people have to buy it or have to have it, but just to know that it's available, and
Exactly.
that's half the battle most of the time, is like, you injure yourself and I'm like, I didn't even know this was available. So
That's exactly, yep. Yep. So
right.
many times I hear from people like, where were you 10 years ago? Where were you yesterday? Like, why haven't we known about this? And there's nothing new about it. It's 100-year-old company. It was just mainly marketed in farming communities. And now it's coming, it's really picking up steam. And before you know it, everybody's going to, but I just, like you're saying, I just at the very least want people to know that they've got options and that it exists. Here's the information, take with it what you will. And that it's up to people to decide if they see the value or not. So I really, really appreciate you doing this for sure. It just helps for some exposure for sure.
That's what the whole summer speaker series is. So I'm glad that it's able to help. And I understand, because with lymphatics, people are like, I didn't know I had a problem until it had a problem. And then all of a sudden I desperately needed you, but I didn't know what you did until I needed it so bad. So it's that unfortunate chain of events sometimes. So yeah,
it really is.
Thanks so much,
I really appreciate
Ginny.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Okay,
All right.
take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.